Welcome guys. Before us we have question 3 from Biology paper 2 for the year 2023 for the internals. Now this question is coming from the topic of circulatory system, where we look at the 4 types of blood groups. Now if you look at blood groups is genetically determined. Now let's not enter into that. Now this question is focusing on the 2 types of the blood groups, which is blood group AB and O. Now question A1, we are told to complete a table by filling in the spaces provided. Now if you look at the 4 types of blood groups, there are factors that they have to put into consideration whenever they have to deal with blood transfusion. Blood transfusion is just the process by which blood is taken from one person, which is the donor, to another person called the recipient. Now, from the 4 components that forms blood, let's just focus a bit on red blood cells. So, from the factors that I said they have to put into consideration, we have the antigens. So the antigens are found on the surface of the red blood cells, and remember, each antigen has its specific shape. Now if the antigens are found on the surface of the red blood cells, what of the antibodies? So the antibodies are found in the blood plasma. Now how can we differentiate the antigen from the antibody? So according to science, antigen is described or explained as a substance that causes the immune system to create the antibodies against it. Now what is the immune system? So the immune system is a system found in animals that protects animals from infection. So in our everyday life activities, we interact with different microorganisms, and we need a system that should protect us from those microorganisms. Now if that is the case for antigen, then what is an antibody? So an antibody is a protein. Then these proteins are produced by the immune system to do what? To respond to a harmful substance. So the antibodies are sometimes referred to like soldiers that are found in blood to protect us from external infection. So anything that is considered to be harmful or foreign in blood, then the antibodies must be there to attack that. So if you look at blood group A and B, blood group A has antigen A, but the antibody is B. So we can't have antigen A and antibody A that will react, forming what we call agglutination. So they have to be different so that we don't have the reaction. That's why the antibodies and the antigen must be different in each blood group. Now what of blood group AB? So for blood group AB, the antigens that are found there is antigen A and antigen B. So say A and B. Now what of the antibodies? So in blood group AB, we have no antibodies, so we'll just say none. Donate to AB. Now when it comes to donation, this group is selfish because it can only be done to the same blood group. But for receiving, they are able to receive from AB, A, O, and B. That's why they are referred to as the universal recipient. Right, we move on to blood group O. The antigens are absent, that's why we have none. What of the antibodies? So we have the antibody A and B. And because of the absence of antigens, blood group O can donate to AB, A, B, O, thus known as the universal donor. So let's hope you are getting the picture of why they are called universal recipient or universal donor. It's due to what is present and absent. Now, Roman number 2 is explain what an antigen is. So just say it's a substance that causes the immune system to create antibodies against it. Right, we move on to question B. Explain why a person with blood group AB can receive from any donor. So, if you look at what is present at antigens, so since the blood group AB consists of antigen A and B, so whatever blood that may come in will at least have an antigen that is exactly the same. So because of that, these people can receive from N4 types. So say because they have both antigen A and B and do not have antibodies. So they do not have antibodies. Because of that, they can receive from any of the 4 without any challenge. We move on to C. Determine the effect of blood from a donor with blood group O, let's say A being transfused into a recipient of blood group O. So what is the problem of giving someone a wrong blood? So that's what the question is asking us. So we'll say this is because the antigens in blood group AB may react with antibodies in blood group O. Remember, blood group AB has antigens A and B. Then blood group O has antibodies A and B. And we don't want the same types of antigens and antibodies to be present in one blood. So that's the reason why O cannot receive from AB. Now, D, explain the importance of screening blood for the purpose of transfusion. So before transfusion, blood must be screened. So to screen simply means you check. So why do they check blood before donating it? So that they just check if the blood is compatible. Apart from compatible, if there are no diseases like HIV, we have hepatitis. So that is the importance of screening. So to check if blood from the donor is compatible with the recipient is. to check for diseases. So we can just say to prevent agglutination. So agglutination is just the process by which the antibodies and the antigens clamps together. So this is how we can answer. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.